Rose from Tribe Art Studio and welcome to our paint along of this summer flower field. So to paint this painting, what we're going to need today is some poster paint. I have some white, some blue, some green, some brown, some purple, pink and yellow. You're also going to need a jar of water and some paintbrushes. So we use a big brush and a small brush for this painting. You're also going to need a paint palette or maybe a paper plate if you don't have a palette. And you're going to need some cotton buds. So maybe 3 to 4 cotton buds. And you're also going to need a cloth for drying your brushes. So let's get started. So for this painting, we're going to start off with some light blue. So we're going to take some white from our palette and bring it over to the side, and we're going to take some blue and we're going to mix these together to get a nice light blue. Might take some more white, a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to paint our whole canvas this light blue colour, and you want to go back and forth with your brush strokes until you have the full canvas covered. So now that we have our sky painted, we're going to give it some darker areas. I'm not going to wash my brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of blue on the top of my brush, just a small bit, and we're going to blend that back and forth into the sky. So this kind of makes it look more real. So just back and forth with your brush all the time. And now we're going to add in some clouds. So I'm not going to wash my brush again, and I'm just going to take some white on my brush and I'm going to blend in the white the same as what we did with the blue, just to start. And now we're going to create some clouds. So I'm going to take white again on the brush, and I'm just going to dab this into the canvas. So you're dabbing it in to make cloud shapes. And you don't want too much paint on your brush when you're doing this. So it's just a really soft kind of effect. Maybe another one over here. And you can add in as many clouds as you want. So now that we've added in our clouds, we need the canvas to dry before we can move on. So I'm going to dry my canvas with a hairdryer. You can use a hairdryer too, or you can let it air dry for a little while at home. So now that our canvas is dry, we're going to add in the grass. So I have washed off my big brush, and I'm going to take some green just on the tip of my brush, and we're going to work from the bottom up, and we're going to do straight strokes like this. Until they look like blades of grass. And you can space these out because we're going to use our smaller brush in between to make smaller blades of grass. blades of grass across, we're going to add in some darker ones and some lighter ones. So for the darker ones, I'm going to take some green on my big brush again, and I'm just going to take a little bit of brown and mix them together, and it's going to give us a darker green. And we're going to paint this in between the ones we've already done. Whatever size you want, and all the way across again. So now that we've got our darker shades of green in, we're going to add in our lighter shades of green. So I have washed my brush this time, and I'm going to take some green on the side and add some yellow in. So you want more yellow than green with this. And then we're going to paint that in between as well. And you can leave some gaps for doing some smaller blades of grass. Okay, so now I've got my lighter shades of grass in. I am going to continue with this brush, and just down here at the bottom where it's kind of a little gappy, I'm just going to use that yellow and bring it up so it covers the gap along the bottom. And your colours will mix together here, but they're going to give a really nice effect, so don't worry about that. You can even use some of your darker green and some of your lighter green as well. So now with my smaller brush, I'm going to add in some more small blades of grass. So we're going to go again with green on its own, then a little green and brown, and a little green and yellow. And you can just fill up the gaps anywhere you think it needs it. Some yellow ones too. And some darker ones. So again, we need all of this to be dry before we can move on to the next step. So I'm going to use the hairdryer again, and you can use a hairdryer too, or you can let it air dry at home. So now we're going to start filling in the flowers. So we're going to take some pink with our cotton bud, a little bit of white, and we're going to mix them together to make that an even lighter pink. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to pick a blade of grass. So I'm going to pick this one here, and I'm going to start up here, and what we're doing is we're dabbing it in, and we're making a sort of cone shape. So you're kind of getting bigger as you go down. And now we're going to take some pink on our cotton bud, just pink on its own, and dab it in there to give it some darker areas. And we're going to take some white then and do the same. So it's giving it lots of different textures and tones of colour. And now we're going to do a purple one, but you can kind of go with any colour you want here. So with my purple again, I'm going to take some purple and white, and I'm going to do my base colour slightly lighter. So we're using the other end of the cotton bud now. We're not going to use the same end as the pink was on. And I'm going to make one up here. And again, you're building it into a cone shape that gets wider at the bottom. So you can also add some white, just plain white ones if you want. And I'm just going to make them very small, so just a couple. You can add them on top of the grass too. So you can really add the flowers anywhere you like for this painting, but I'm going to add some more down in this corner, and I'm going to add them on top of my grass. So I'm just using the same method again. I'm mixing some purple and white together for the base, and then we'll add some darker and lighter on top. So I'm just adding my darker now. And then my lighter. So with a new cotton bud, I'm actually going to add in some blue flowers as well. So I'm going to put some here at the front. So just starting off with my blue. And I'm going to add some white on top. And I'm going to add in a couple of more blue flowers now as well. And again, the white on top. So you can keep adding in the flowers until you're happy. I think I'm happy enough with mine, so I think I'm done.